What's going on, family? Welcome to Irvington Unbound. It's the newsletter of the Sheridan Street Block Association. I'm Jay. I hope life is treating you well, so let's get right to work. In block news, on August 5th through the 8th, we're going to have a public dumpster in front of the 8-5, and we encourage everyone to make use of it. On the 6th, from 1 to 5, there's going to be a block cleanup, which entails just going up both sides and collecting trash and debris, picking up every little thing, out there. I'm going to be out there. If you guys want to come chill, by all means. If not, I can handle it. Why? Because that's what I do. On August 2nd, the township presents National Night Out 2. In the Civic Square, there's going to be food, fun, town unity. It's supposed to be real good times, man. Come bring your happy mood with you and just enjoy yourself. I got to actually meet Congressman Payne last year. I talked to him about guns. And this year, with all the shootings, guns is pretty taken care of. So this year, when I head out there, I'm going on a completely different vibe with a completely different thing, but I still have my thing. In state news, done tripping out about Chris Christie, ready for him to leave office, but it's necessary to illustrate his continued ignorance at times. This time, it's the announcement that he'd allow Atlantic City to go bankrupt after forcing in several casinos, and then most of them which are closed down, including Revel, which was a gigantic waste of taxpayer money. So, where are you, 2018? 2 years away. Okay. In national news, since we last spoke, the Republicans and Democrats held their conventions, and both were largely entertaining. With the Republicans, it was a clusterfuck of fear, with Trump and the gang stoking the instincts of racism and xenophobia, while the Democrats flexed a ton of aesthetic diversity with the claims of Americans' current greatness and the bragging rights of naming the first woman nominee of a major political party. Congratulations. Super happy for you. But, dude, you got some work to do, because I'm looking very much forward to the debates. Like, those debates, man. Those are going to be interesting. So, but I want you guys to be very clear. I want to be very clear in what I'm about to say, though. In presidential races, and I know I keep going in presidential races, your voice doesn't count. And that's because of the Electoral College. The scoring system that dictates New Jersey only gets 14 points, despite being the most populated state per capita. California gets 55 points as a comparative example, and Hillary is going to easily win in New Jersey, but the magic number is 270. 14 is not much on 270. I mean, California is, and California is definitely going to go blue. We know the states that are going to go blue, but it's still these other really weird states, the Ohios and the Pennsylvanias and whatnot, what have you. And I know you want to sit there and trash Trump, but I pay attention to the other side of the argument. I listen to Trump supporters, and they're saying, like, hey, it just for him to be able to make businesses, no matter how often they fail, he still made those businesses. That's entrepreneurship. That's what we want. And plus he's an outsider. She's the ultimate insider. He is the ultimate outsider. We will see what the hell happens in November. But that's why I'm here. That's why I got your back. All right, guys. But yeah, that's the thing. It nullifies the fact that it's not the popular vote, and it's the Electoral College. That's what nullifies your vote. So it really is, like, we know Hillary's gonna win New Jersey. We know Hillary's gonna win California, because these states are the more liberal states. These have the larger pockets of densely populated areas. It's the rural sections. It's those places where, like in the Carolinas, where in the South, where the houses aren't right next to each other, and everybody's not packed in together, being forced to learn and forced to absorb and not particularly assimilate, but bring your own thing to the table, while getting along with the rest of everybody else. You got those other pockets of those just redneck rural folks who, let's be real, that's not their experience. And when you can't speak to someone's experience, you can't tell them what it is, what it does, because you haven't lived in their shoes, and you can never live in their shoes. I have this nice saying where You know how they say you gotta walk a mile in man's shoes. Even if you walk that 1 mile, you didn't walk any of the ones before it, so you still don't have a great idea of what the hell's going on. And so in town news, and we saved this for the last for a very particular reason. The township received $600,000 loan to demolish 50 or more unsafe buildings from the state, which is good news. Even better news that the loan comes with 0% interest, but when gentrification is afoot, the interest is our future, is our people's future. But you were right. To everyone who told me that getting involved in Irvington politics was pointless because those empowered don't consider the public's concerns, I witnessed it for myself last night at the meeting of the planning board to turn the oldest house in Irvington into a Taco Bell. And I need to tell you that you were right. I wasn't sitting there saying, oh, of course, no. I'm still not operating as somebody who doesn't know what the heck, you know what I'm saying, is going on. What I'm doing is just seeing the playing field. And yeah, I got your back. I do. But it was so obvious last night that it wasn't really funny. As a gentleman, I hope you saw the air quotes, by the name of Mr. Wiggins. He's this bald white guy that looks like an older version of Goldberg from the WCW. He was insanely rude to Miss Jenkins, a lovely older lady, African American lady that has headed the fight to preserve the Servicemen's Club. But his attitude was reflective of the postures of all the members, as they clearly made up their minds to vote for approval long before anyone entered the building. I mean, if this were any other municipality in New Jersey, that house would have been converted into a museum, 30 years ago, and we'd have tons of grant and funding cash coming from it. Same as with the hospital. We got $1 million for it, and I can't help but feel like if it were open and moving, and the township took care of it, and we invested in it instead of sat there and stripping from it. And this isn't, on the current administration, because hey, it's 2 years, right? 2 years. So this isn't on the current administration. This is the past 30 years of mismanagement and just like selling ourselves short. Like, that's the thing. We as a township, we as a people, we sell ourselves short, and we kind of got to stop. Like yesterday, my goodness, I got into a conversation with the mayor yesterday. I was really irritated about Miss Jenkins, but it wasn't the mayor that did it. He was just like, we need TVs at these council meetings, at these planning board meetings. We need these things on just so you guys can see their faces, because golly, they don't even try to hide it. And it makes it like, so getting up there and saying something, getting up there with a speech or something like that is pointless. And I really feel like that's where small interactions come in at, because you can make that conversation between you and that person is the conversation between you and that person, because when you make it public, then the person's like, then somebody got to buck up, somebody got to get real strong. And I don't consider this making me and the mayor's conversation public, because he's a good dude. I like him, but at the same time, we do not see the world the same way. It's that experience thing that I was just recently talking about. We do not see the world the same way. And so when I asked him, like, hey, could we have done better? He's like, hey, man, put it out to bid. $850,000, and Taco Bell was the best thing that came back to us. That was the best bid. Like, that's still the way it was. I'm not sure if maybe we could have looked for something different, or saying like, I don't know who the bids were placed out to. I have none of that information. It just seems like, for the oldest building in the township, regardless of any kind of renovation or anything else like that, some would say like, yo, that does carry something. And the mayor himself, he says, yeah, I have things in my office that are older than that. Cool. Why aren't they in there as a museum? And we kind of got into the museum conversation, and he's like, well, I'm like, yeah, through grants and stuff like that. Well, who's going to write the grant and everything? I'm like, you know what? That's all then. That was all then. Everything. All of that was then. Even the hospital, which was a travesty as far as I'm concerned. Selling a hospital for $1 million is a fucking travesty. All right? Like that like, Why do we continue to sell ourselves short? Like, why do we wait? Why do we ask for permission? We don't need to ask for permission. Damn it, we can just do it ourselves. But like I said, different experiences. And he's doing what he feels is best. Everyone is doing, I genuinely believe everyone's doing what they feel is the best. But the gentrification and the obvious, it seems really obvious that, you know, we've been pushed out, and we've been continue to get pushed out and pushed out and pushed out. And so, how long do you really think you're going to last? How long do you think it's going to take for, you know, the Spanish population, which is coming here in droves? And I have nothing against the Spanish population. Oh, me gusta some arroz con pollo y abuela chicletas. You know what I'm saying? Like, from like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still working on my Spanish. But either ways, I have nothing against Spanish people. I got mad love for Spanish people. But they are coming here in droves, and they do not currently have representation. When they come, when enough of them are here and they unite, it won't be long until we have Mayor Ramos. And it's like, okay, well, in your time, or like, so it's like now we need to start making sure that our people aren't just getting these rinky-dink jobs, but are getting living wages, getting, you know, like salaries. Not just, oh yeah, well, you know, we're gonna let the minimum wage work that out. No, I understand, to a person that makes makes 6 figures a year, that's, you know, it's hard to imagine that person's lifestyle. But at the same time, dude, our people are hurting, and I don't mind the gentrification. What I mind is the lack of economic development. And he said his people are gonna send me an email and let me know, like, what's going on that front and the types of positions that they're offering. But if you're sitting there offering per hour work, and or like, you know, like just like at like way cheaper rates than traditionally before, or the lowest rate possible, then that's why we get the lowest service possible. You can't sit there and rinky dink. You can't bullshit. You can't bullshit this shit anymore. We gotta step up. We gotta start doing things that benefit our community, because guess what? It's not gonna be our community much longer. And you need to understand that. I'll be fine, because I'm James. Like, I'll always be good. Trust and believe. I've made it everywhere I've ever gone, and I'll make it regardless. But it's everybody else that's suffering at the same time. And I'm blessed. So I gotta do this. I gotta fight for us. Anyways, that's the newsletter. I love you. Talk to you later. We'll probably drop another one, but this, like, just, we gotta be better to each other. We can be. Because we're better than that. All of us. And I love you all. Talk to you later. Love you.